Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. WWE making its return to NBC, Saturday night's main event. It's just awesome to see wrestling on prime time, on a Saturday, on a major network, with nobody really complaining. It's almost like WWE has just come full-fledged. Hot topic, I guess you can say. When I go to the mall, I don't really see as much WWE merch as I saw like in the 2010s, like definitely around the time when like Pro Wrestling Tees and the Bullet Club got into Hot Topic back in the day. When you walk in there, they're gonna have a Cody Rhodes shirt. They might have a CM Punk shirt, and that's just kind of like gonna be it. I remember at one point, um, you know, they would have almost 3 rows of T-shirts on the wall going up to down, and now you don't really see anything, which makes me think that maybe wrestling isn't as over as it once is. But for NBC to give up their Saturday night time slot to wrestling is just freaking awesome. I will give you this. I think that maybe this second show isn't as jam-packed as the first one was, but you got hidden gems in here. I honestly think that we're going to have a major title change on here. I'm hoping that we do have a major title change. That way the secondary title doesn't change because of me being a Braun Breaker fan to go along the way. But we've got 4 big matches. We've got 1 contract signing for the Royal Rumble ladder match, which is funny because when you think about what the Royal Rumble first was, born as, was a USA special, where they were really just setting up the Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan WrestleMania 3. That's where they had their contract signing. That is, of course, where Andre left Hulk Hogan laying in the middle of the ring. He was wearing a sports jacket. There was like the most indie wrestling table of all time in the ring. There was no money spent on this show at all. You really had seen that WWE didn't really think about the elegance of being the top wrestling company in the world as they do right now. But this honestly is going to be a really good show. I'm really looking forward to Braun Strowman going up against Jacob Fatu. A few different directions this match could going. Are we going to see Jacob Fatu become the single star that we all thought he was going to be? Is Braun Strowman going to be taking the fall? Maybe Braun Strowman joining up with the War Raiders. Them sort of having a feud against the Bloodline, which kind of might not work because we don't really know where Solo Sikoa is. We do know that they're going to be fighting against LA Knight in a singles match on SmackDown tonight. But I don't know. It should be a really, really fun match. Just 2 big, beefy men jumping into that ring and just bumping. Women's championship is going to be on the line. Rhea Ripley, that's like the number 1 title that there is in WWE, going up against Nia Jax. I think that this is just going to be a match kind of like that. 2 hard hitters just getting into the ring. When you look at Nia Jax, you kind of think of her as somebody that just could beat anybody down, and maybe she just catches Rhea Ripley on a bad night. I don't know. With Rhea Ripley beating Liv Morgan, getting that women's championship back, there's no way in the world she's going to be losing it so fast. I know a lot of people thinking that Charlotte's going to be coming back, winning the Rumble, and that would sort of set up her versus Tiffany. I think that we need a rematch of the Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte. I don't close the door on that. I think they're building Rhea Ripley up right now that when they had their match back at WrestleMania 36, Rhea was kind of getting her feet under, but now this is her ring. This is her place. This isn't Charlotte's place. She's held it down for the last 2 years that Charlotte's been gone due to injury. I think that would be an awesome match for WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte, and we see where we go from there. Intercontinental Championship is going to be Braun Breaker going up against Sheamus. This is just a match kind of like the other 3. Just 2 hard hitters just jumping into the ring. Braun Breaker hasn't really got any TV time since the Netflix era started. I'm a little scared on, how many mid-card championships they have in WWE. How is there going to be enough time for all of these people, especially with no house shows, to be featuring them on? I think when all these kind of like mid-card titles popped up, it was like to have B towns and C towns when they run 3 shows on one night, in the show with a championship match, and people feel like, they were there for a reason, and there's a reason to buy a ticket. Wouldn't be surprised if Sheamus wins this match for them to set up some sort of a feud going into WrestleMania. Braun Breaker having a singles match at WrestleMania would be huge for him in his first year on the main roster since coming up around Royal Rumble last year. So I think he's a great champion. I think he's a great wrestler. He's going to be the face of WWE sooner than later. Love to see more of that guy. I think this show, what it's lacking mostly is Cody Rhodes defending his WWE championship. We don't even have, I don't know what I was looking for there, because I guess the main event of Gunther versus Uso, having the World Heavyweight Championship match involved, I guess that's a big enough match to do this, but I don't know. Cody and Kevin Owens having a contract signing, they're in San Antonio. I guess that's the reason for Shawn Michaels to be involved. It was kind of a reach for me to see why Shawn would be the one doing the contract signing. You would think that it would be like Adam Pearce, the main guy from WWE's Monday Night Raw, the general manager as of right now. We've got Kevin Owens trying to recruit Sami Zayn to just sort of join his fight against Cody. Sami Zayn has always been with Kevin Owens. It's almost like Kevin Owens is able to brainwash him due to their friendship, making Sami Zayn like the second banana in their group. Maybe that could be setting up, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, finally, a match that we've all been waiting for since their Ring of Honor days. There's no way in the world this segment is not for Kevin Owens to leave Cody Rhodes laying. I would even be surprised if we see blood. This is the feud they're making right now. I feel bad at the Royal Rumble. There's no way that Cody's not winning this match. Where that leaves, Kevin Owens' future, we can only hope that it's for a Sami Zayn match. But, he's had a run with that WWF Winged Eagle Championship. It's just going to be coming to an end sooner or later. This match right here, or this night, I guess you can say, 100% built around Jey Uso versus Gunther. There's no way in the world that Jey Uso is not going to be winning that championship. We don't need a whole lot of talk about it. There's no brother to come in and break this up. I can't think of anybody else that would want to ruin this for Jey Uso. Maybe Solo Sikoa, now that we're talking about it. But I think all of us going to be sitting on our couch like this, just eating our ass off for Uso winning that World Heavyweight Gold. I think it's going down. I think that what the night is all built around, and I'm hyped for it. I want some Jey Uso glasses in a color that are not red. I would love a blue one. Pink might even be better, but I'm pumped for WrestleMania. I mean, things are starting to turn, and it's just going to be here before we know it. Let's go. Royal Rumble right after this on the 1st of February. Gonna be a good weekend. Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. A little bit rough. We gotta get started. We gotta get our morning started. I don't have a lot planned for today, but tomorrow, Saturday night's main event is going to be making its return to NBC 1 month after their last special. I didn't really hear any bad news coming out where basically it had low ratings. It kind of seemed like WWE was happy, NBC was happy. Maybe we can keep that partnership between them strong. NBC signed up for SmackDown on USA. Maybe we can keep the WWE Network on Peacock, which would make everybody happy because we can still watch our WWE pay-per-views on there. But the WWE Network has never really been the same. I would hate to see it move from Peacock to somewhere else. because we don't really know what the future is going to hold. Are we going to get less than what we have now? I would love to keep the WWE Network at least as it is today, where you can watch Nitro, you can watch Raw, you can watch ECW. It seems like the WWE Network overseas that moved over to Netflix, it's kind of like a pick and choose kind of thing, like it was with WWE 24/7. They're going to give you some stuff here, they're going to give you some stuff there, but maybe when you sit down one night and you're like, I'd really like to watch this, it's not there. One of the big matches that's going to be featured on Saturday night's main event is going to be Braun Breaker, the Intercontinental Champion, going up against Sheamus. I've noticed a lot of changes in WWE since the Netflix era started. The show is about a half hour on average shorter. You see a lot less of certain characters. It seems like the number of guys not being used in WWE right now seems to be increasing almost each and every week. You kind of notice people that you're like, I don't really remember the last time that we saw them have a match. It's kind of been talked about that the WWE tag titles have almost become a joke where you've never seen them on a pay-per-view, and WWE is almost getting to a point like with AEW is like they're like, well, we need more women's mid-card championships. Well, when are we ever going to see those women's mid-card championships ever being defended? I mean, obviously, if those titles get on somebody that they're building up to be a big star, you're going to be seeing them defended a lot. But when they start to fall on somebody who's been in the company for a while, they're just going to be pretty much used here and there along the way. I mean, with WWE not even really having house shows until the month of March, and then they're going to be sort of used less and less along the way. Who knows if they'll even be defended on the road? It's kind of crazy. But Braun Breaker, when Raw was 2 hours on the last days of USA, seemed like he was a big character that was on the show. Now we haven't seen him at all, I don't believe. He had a little bit of a dust-up with Gunther that showed that Braun Breaker is the guy that's going to be used in the future. But then again, he's only been on the main roster for 1 year. He got moved up at the Royal Rumble. He was a great NXT champion. You could see that he was like the face of the NXT 2.0 when they made that change. Once he lost the title to, I believe, Trick Williams, and you saw that his role was still on the show each and every week, but the storyline with him and Baron Corbin, he was almost like a secondary player. But then again, if they just would have moved him up to the main roster with nothing for him to do, he would have got lost in that purgatory state where you just don't see him at all. So I think it was awesome they kept him in NXT. Even after he had that huge Royal Rumble Diesel-like moment where he just came in eliminating guys, people said that he got the role that Brock Lesnar was supposed to have when Brock Lesnar news first hit the streets, and then they decided not to use him for the Royal Rumble last year. But him being Intercontinental Champion, him on his second run after losing it to Jey Uso and then being able to return it, he's young. He's only been in WWE for a year. I don't think he's done anything wrong. I think that we could see him lose the belt in this match, and it wouldn't really hurt my feelings because it would kind of make me think that as long as he is the former Intercontinental Champion, a 2-time one at that, maybe they're hyping us up towards a Sheamus versus Braun Breaker match at WrestleMania. WrestleMania having more matches with it being 2 days. Braun Breaker being on his first available WrestleMania, actually having a singles match, that would be huge. A lot of people, when they're drawing up on their dream boards, what they're going to do at WrestleMania, they tend to pack a WrestleMania ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship, much like they did at WrestleMania 31, much like they did at WrestleMania 32. Sometimes to put more guys on the card, they draw up the Universal title 4-way at WrestleMania 33. Just to get guys out there. If Braun Breaker is fighting Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship, win, lose, or draw. I'm going to be proud of him, and I think that he's going to be a big name. Braun Breaker, when he had his rookie cards coming out, it's still to this day, anytime I see a Braun Breaker rookie card, even though they've sort of chilled off a little bit since he's not the NXT champion and since he's not really been on TV in the past few months, you can pick him up like $1, maybe $2 along the way. If you're looking for an autograph one, that's going to cost you a little bit more, or a relic one. But I pretty much pick those up and I just stack those in my boxes as it is. Saturday night's main event, Braun Breaker being on the show is going to be a big deal for me. I think this is a big match. I'll tell you the truth, as of watching it, I really feel like he might lose this match, and it wouldn't hurt my feelings. Like I said, if we can move towards a singles match at WrestleMania for Braun Breaker, I think that's just going to be even bigger than it is now, and I think he can knock it out of the park. Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. One of the big matches that's going to be coming to you tomorrow night on Saturday night's main event is going to be Braun Strowman going up against Jacob Fatu. I think that this is the definition of wrestling. Just two big monsters getting into the ring, and they're just going to be looking to beat the hell out of each other. It reminds me a lot of like the Warlord against the British Bulldog at WrestleMania 7, a match that doesn't really stand out in a lot of people's mind, but that Warlord British Bulldog feud went for almost a year, and they beat the hell out of each other on every big show that there was along the way. Braun Strowman wrestled in one of my favorite matches that there was last year, the Monday Night Raw match, where it was Braun Strowman against Bronson Reed. I believe it was the first Monday Night Raw on USA to go to 2 hours. They did the ring collapse gimmick, which I've probably seen at least 10 times in my lifetime, but the first time was the best, and then they seemed like they waited almost 10 years to do it again, and then it just seemed like they did it like the next week. It's a gimmick that's just been played out, and I've seen it so many times, but yet when I saw it in that match, I really didn't see it coming, and I really fell for it, and it really felt like it was the first time. There's a lot of different ways that this match could go. I'm really hoping that it is a match that's going to be putting Jacob Fatu over. We've all really wanted to see him have a singles run, maybe leave the bloodline, go after Solo Sikoa. That guy has kind of been missing in action ever since his match against Roman Reigns. I understand that he's embarrassed that he lost the Ula Fala. He lost the family, but it kind of seems like Jacob Fatu wants to follow him, but it's almost like he's ditched him. I'm hoping maybe that this match could set up Jacob Fatu beating Braun Strowman, and then Solo Sikoa trying to come out acting like he won the match, and this is a win for the bloodline, and we can finally hear Jacob Fatu hit, "I hate you, Solo. You abandoned me. You left the bloodline out to dry." And that could start the gas on building up Jacob Fatu as someone that's going to be going after Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa not having the bloodline anymore. Who is he going to try and join up with? There's no Bronson Reed in the back to sort of fight his fight for him, like when Bronson Reed joined the bloodline for the War Games match back, what was that, October? November, because it's around Survivor Series, which is around Thanksgiving time. But I'm really looking forward to this match right here. I just want to see two beefy men getting there bumping their meat, and I'm talking about Big E. But we'll see what goes down with this one. I think it's really, really going to be a good one. Peace out. Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here. Main event, Saturday night's main event, coming to you live from San Antonio. Jey Uso going up against Gunther. I will tell you the truth. I don't think there's any way to beat around the bush and say my prediction in the very end. Jey Uso is beating Gunther on Saturday night's main event. Jey Uso is going to become the World Heavyweight Champion. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't see this going any other direction. Jey Uso is one overdue in WWE. WWE Shop, side note, I want to give you my money. I gave you a little bit of money on Black Friday, more money than I've given you in a long time. I placed the WWE Shop order today because I wanted to make sure I had certain things. I know that I'll be going to the WWE Superstore. I'll probably be buying more than I need to buy while I'm there as well. But why do you not have Jey Uso glasses in any other color than red? I don't think that Jey Uso has worn the red glasses in a year since he was wearing the red Yeet shirt at WrestleMania 40. Maybe he wore them during the time the Bloodline got back together. Get some blue glasses, get some yellow glasses, definitely get some pink glasses. He's going to sell all of those things. I don't have a doubt in my mind that they'll be restocked by WrestleMania season, but I honestly would buy two of those. One to put in my luggage to keep safe for my Las Vegas trip. One to just wear around the house right now. I mean, this guy is it. Gunther losing this match leaves him a bunch of different directions that he could go. We could see a rematch on Raw. We could see a rematch on SmackDown. Possibly a singles match at the Royal Rumble itself. We could even see, Goldberg make his return during the Royal Rumble, which would set up Goldberg versus Gunther, which people had talked about for WrestleMania, Goldberg's last match. It wouldn't have to be for a World Heavyweight Championship. We wouldn't have to see a run where you're basically looking like Goldberg's going to lose this match because they don't want to put the title on him. If Goldberg beats him, and then Gunther could just go after, Cody Rhodes right after that. But I am pumped for this match. I am going to be sitting here. I'm going to be yeeting my ass off. I'm going to be, rapping the Jey Uso theme as he makes his way down to the ring. We might be flickering the lights with little strobe lights. If I had a fog machine, it'd be going off. I'm pumped for this. I mean, I'd be watching this show one way or another, but my excitement level for this show is basically all based around Jey Uso. There's not going to be his brother running in there to save Gunther like it was for the Intercontinental title on Monday Night Raw last year. It's just going to be Gunther and Uso, and I think Uso's coming out on top.